I worked in Silicon Valley during the first dot-com boom in 98, 99, and was fortunate enough to cut my teeth on mass customization, personalization, and on-demand micro-manufacturing in cosmetics, skincare, hair care, and fine fragrance. That company was backed by P&G and Redpoint Ventures, and we were pioneering the concept of a consumer being able to come in, answer a few questions, us pushing back, well, this is going to be your formulation for your skincare. Do you want this scent or this scent? Do you want it unscented? Do you want to pick a jewel color for your package? Put your name on it. Everything didn't exist until you created your first product online. And that really set the trajectory for my entire career. Falling in love with big data, mass customization, personalization, and on demand. So it led me to eventually in 2010 architecting a contextual search engine called Shopsy. And that was built off of my inspiration from Polyvore. It's another site, I don't know if people on the call will know, but basically they created the first visual collaging tool for online. You could create an outfit and put a picture of the Eiffel Tower and a lipstick and a kitten, and all the things were clickable. I thought that's the future of search. Everything we consume gets used in a context, but we shop it devoid of context or with somebody else's context. They're putting it into a meaningful context, a dress, a bag, shoes, and two accessories, but it needs to be algorithmically modified to my taste. So imagine a little filter for price, items under 100, or color. I needed everything in black. I was like, if they could do that, that's the future of search. They didn't do that. Years went by. I was like, well, I'm going to do that. So I architected Shopsy, the first contextual search engine that algorithmically generated outfits on the fly from over 6,000 brands with over 32 trillion possible permutations per 5 item set. And I got into Techstars. Bootstrapped it initially, raised some venture capital through Techstars. What I learned is that VCs will not admit what they don't understand. And I had a whole lot of grown men saying, I don't get it. Why don't you just buy some inventory like Nasty Gal? And I was looking at them like, wait, why are they letting you cut checks if you can't tell the difference between a traditional e-commerce brand, which was what Nasty Gal was, versus what I'm showing you, which is a contextual search engine. We're closer to Google than a traditional e-commerce brand. And I realized that they wouldn't admit what they didn't know, and they'd rather tell founders to change their product or their idea to something they did know to be investable. And I realized I didn't want to take venture money from somebody that would turn it into something else that wasn't, in my mind, valuable. I was offered a few $1 million to turn it into a static look of the week site where I'd be a celebrity face of a brand and talk about style. And I was like, no, thank you. I wouldn't own my IP. I'd work at a company I hated and I'd feel like a total sellout. No, thanks. So I shut down. And after we pulled the plug, I got a call from ASOS, head of global innovation, saying, what happened? You made something we've never seen before. Um, I realized that VCs don't know everything. Techstars, the largest global accelerator for tech in the world, also didn't know everything. So I decided to build the first fashion tech accelerator. That's when I launched the New York Fashion Tech Lab, 2014. And I figured I'd bring the C-suite executives to the brands and retailers, from the brands and retailers to the startups that were looking to serve them, because VCs weren't making right choices. Maybe they would. Turns out not so much. They are not incentivized to invest in the things that are good for their business. They're incentivized to invest in more shiny objects that get them a bonus, and they don't care if the company goes under in 5 years because they're out of there in 2 to 3. So that's what led me to leave that and start to study the apparel supply chain, because I realized that's the biggest opportunity. All the money that's going into VC is going into front-end consumer-facing stuff. Rent the Runway, Nasty Gal, all these e-commerce plays. But the real money of this $2.7 trillion global pie that is the fashion market lies in the supply chain. Only about $250 billion was being invested in, and that represented front-end consumer-facing stuff. So I left to study the apparel supply chain for about a year. And I was in maker labs, cut and sew shops, ateliers, factories of all different sizes, learning the ins and outs of why everyone was saying it was impossible to solve this problem set and applying design thinking.